All right, so today we're talking about what I would consider to be one of the more exciting Nintendo Switch 2 reports, because it specifically has to deal with shipping data that is publicly available for view. We are not going off of insiders or somebody who might have some scoop out there on the internet for what Nintendo's plans are. No, this is publicly verifiable information, and the information at hand suggests that Nintendo is indeed in a big way gearing up for mass manufacturing. I want to be clear, because these shipping data are a couple months behind. We're talking about August numbers here, and of course we are in the month of October, so they could very well already be in mass manufacturing. But one thing that is for certain is that Nintendo has drastically ramped up the shipments, likely for preparation of mass manufacturing as of August, which could indicate that as we have to wait, of course, a couple more months to find out that yeah, this thing's being produced, and we'll know by the end of this month if a 2024 reveal for this console is on the table or not. But we're gonna get on the same page with exactly what's been discovered here. Before we do, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on your bell notification to join Sunbro Nation if you're new here. And I want to first start off by giving a quick shout out to friend of the channel, Nintendo Prime. I did see him cover this story first. It's over on Family Boards. I have not necessarily seen it covered on a lot of other places on the internet, so I will have his video linked in the description down below. And the unfortunate thing about Family Boards is that you do have to be a registered user to see some of their posts. So while I will be referencing data that is publicly available, you just have to register for their website, and I will have it linked in my description as well. You're not going to be able to see exact screenshots from the user just because it is outside of their policies, and I'll get my account banned and all of that fun stuff. But the long and short of it is, and this is the one I want to focus in on, the T239, which is heavily believed to be the processing chip for Nintendo's next gen hardware, for example, in the month of August had a batch unit number order of 48,000. Okay, that is up from just over 3,000 in June, and then it had 4,000 orders in July. So they went from 3,000 to 4,000 all the way up to 48,000 units in the month of August in terms of what they were ordering for that T239. That is a massive increase because they're likely preparing all the components for assembly at this point in time. Now, that's as of August, so we don't know what they've ramped up to from there, and that number isn't necessarily big enough to confirm, like, yes, it's currently in mass manufacturing, but there's definitely some preparations going on for that. Now, another component that went up drastically in terms of the order number was actually for the screen of whatever this Nintendo Switch 2 will have. We don't know if it's going to be OLED or a LCD display. I'm assuming it's going to be LCD. It'll look a lot better than what the base Nintendo Switch is, but it probably won't have that same vibrant color pop that's really only possible with OLEDs. But that said, LCDs have come a very long way, and if I'm a betting man, Nintendo will probably do a mid-gen refresh with a OLED model eventually for their next gen hardware. But that screen specifically, whatever it is, went up from a 1,100 count that was ordered in June all the way up to 61,000 as of August for 4 different batches. Again, not necessarily mass manufacturing numbers, as it is pointed out in this post that a typical shipment for Switch 1 production units range from like 80,000 to 200,000, and they'll definitely ramp it up even higher than that at the beginning production of a console because, well, we've heard it from Nintendo themselves. They want to have enough supply on store shelves for this next gen hardware to avoid scalping if at all possible. So we're not in that mass manufacturing unit total as of August, but it could be as of September and October. That's what we don't know. However, one thing I do want to point out and make very clear is that while we do have some legit leaks of the Switch 2 console, you probably remember that we saw that what is now more or less confirmed to be a prototype unit from late, probably October 2023 time, hit the internet, and we saw basically a board that's so complex it would be impossible to fake, or next to impossible, without spending a large sum of money. And while that was a very exciting leak when it hit, it wasn't the mass manufacturing type of leak that we are still really waiting for to see if there's going to be a verifiable one that happens, somebody that's a legit employee. We did have that one story of somebody uploading their Foxconn badge, and they also claimed that this console will be called Switch 2, as there is a big Switch logo and a 2 right next to it on the hardware. According to them, we don't have concrete images like those ones that we saw for the Switch Lite, where we get a look at the finalized ship to market shell ahead of Nintendo revealing the console. So in my opinion, if they are ramping up these shipments, we're probably right around the corner from the season of mass manufacturing starting, and as soon as that happens, the floodgates will open in terms of leaks, and Nintendo knows that. So yes, October is still looking like a potentially very likely month. I haven't lost hope at all. I definitely was feeling like there's a couple weeks that really make sense events. One of them has already passed, which is the week we're wrapping up now. And then next week is Super Mario Party Jamboree. So I don't necessarily see it dropping then, but there's a couple weeks towards the tail end of the month that could line up with when Nintendo Switch will reveal this thing, because that following week past Mario Party Jamboree, we of course know we're getting more details on the Nintendo Switch Online playtest program that nobody really knows what that is. GameCube seems to be a more likely speculation online now, but it's not confirmed, and there is some exciting shipping data, I'll say, about a GameCube controller. We'll probably do a separate deep dive video on that because it's very important, and it does look like GameCube will be coming to Nintendo Switch Online at some point, but we don't know if this playtest is directly related to that. Well, we get more info on the playtest on the 20th, and we know the playtest starts on the 23rd. Is there a world where Nintendo reveals the console on something like the 22nd, and whatever that feature is that over 10,000 people are being asked not to discuss online, which, if you know how hilarious that sounds, obviously this thing's going to get out there immediately. Like, it's not a legal NDA. That term was thrown around when this program was first unveiled, but it's not a legally binding agreement. Nintendo is, however, asking players not to discuss or capture or disclose what is being tested as part of this program. Well, anyway, it will be weird for Nintendo to have some kind of massive Nintendo Switch Online feature just go live in a playtest and get it leaked online from all the people that got into that playtest and not have some kind of official promotion for what's coming. So whether that's tied at all to Switch 2 remains to be seen, and it might not be. We also have the date of November 5th where Nintendo is holding their quarterly financial briefing, and interestingly, if you want to try to put a pattern on this reveal schedule, their financial briefing for the year of 2016, which is when they revealed the Switch 1 hardware, they did it a week before on October 20th. So they revealed the console and they had their quarterly financial briefing exactly 1 week after. So if that is a theory to be believed, we would actually be seeing a reveal on the week of Halloween. So maybe an announcement late Monday night on the 28th and a reveal on something like Tuesday the 29th or Wednesday the 30th. I don't think Nintendo would drop the first look trailer on Halloween, since a lot of people do celebrate that around the world. But again, this is not speculation, leaks, or rumors discussion. This is publicly verified info that Nintendo is ramping up their component part orders for all of the Switch 2 parts to ultimately put together for assembly. So we know that this is happening soon. Once mass manufacturing starts, it's going to leak online relatively soon after. Nintendo is aware of that, so we have to wait and see for this particular one. But the only other thing I'll say is, obviously, we don't know about the reveal time for this console, but with the numbers being what they are for the shipping data that has been uncovered here, it does seem entirely more likely that this is a first half 2025 console and not something like people are afraid of, which would be a holiday season release. Like, there's definitely a lot of people out there that think Nintendo's going to wait all the way till March next year to reveal this thing and then launch it in something like September, October window next year. The amount of units they were already ramping up and ordering as of August this year definitely seems like that's not the case. But of course, Nintendo's Nintendo, and it's hard to prove anything at the end of the day until they come out with the official announcement. But that's where I really want to hear from you guys at this point in the video. What do you make of this new shipping data report? And are you more or less excited for the potential of a October reveal for this console? Do you think that yes, indeed, it will be released in the first half of 2025 next year? Maybe something like that March, April time, very similar to that of the Switch 1? Or do you think that even though we're getting this concrete info for units ramping way up in terms of Nintendo's orders for them, that they're actually just going to produce this system far longer before it releases, and it will be something like a second half or later into 2025 type of release for them? So make sure you share all your thoughts and feelings in the comments down below before you leave, regardless if we agree or disagree. Also, make sure you like, subscribe, turn on your notification bell. And with that, I've been Sunbro, you've been Nation. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.